We'll take questions now for Brad. We have a couple of wireless mics out. Back in the back there, Chuck Gibler has a question. Then we'll go to Bob Pockris and then to Scott.
Brad, 5 weeks ago you raced here. Often in the past when people left here, they weren't really looking forward to coming back. I want to know, to say it kindly, but how do you feel about it this year? And did you debrief? Have you gotten a lot since last we saw you?
Yeah, I think it's the history of my team to where we always get better towards the second time where we go to tracks, and I don't think this weekend will be any exception. We had a decent run coming together last time we were here with the new pavement, and had some electronics issues that caught us behind. We just never got a shot to fully recover from that. So I think all things being even and not having those issues, that we could add a top 10, top 5 day, and I think we're even more competitive this time around. So for those reasons, I always look forward to coming back to tracks in the summer stretch.
Go ahead, Bob.
Bob Parker, Sporting News. I assume by electronic issues you mean pit road electronic issues?
No, we had issues with something in the ignition system.
Oh, okay. Well, what about, you also had some issues on pit road,
sure,
too. Are you concerned about those? Is there anything that you'll do differently this weekend as opposed to when you were first here to make sure that you don't get caught?
Well, you're concerned about getting busted on pit road every week. I always joke with my spotter that the first 30 seconds off a pit road is, I feel like I don't breathe, because you're worried that he's going to come over and say you have some kind of penalty. So that's every week you're concerned about it if you're doing it right. But certainly last time we were here, there were some issues that seemed to be in a much higher volume, and that would lead to your suspicion to say that there was something tricky going on. But it's my job to find a way around it, and I didn't do that last time we were here. But hopefully I will this time.
Scott, and then to Nate.
Scott Walsh from the Scranton Times. Brad, I wonder if you could just reflect a little bit on the last 365 days. This time last year you had the bad ankle, you'd hurt your ankle, but then you won the race here, and it seemed to just kind of turn everything around for you. And
sure.
Just kind of reflect a little bit on since the Pocono win, everything that's kind of happened to you over the last year.
Well, it's certainly been a good run. I'm not really all that good at reflecting back on things like that. I think it's probably more my mentality to look forward as to where our program's heading, and I just always feel like there's not a lot to be achieved by looking backwards, at least not to your own history, unless you're going to repeat some of the mistakes. But obviously that's something we're planning on doing. But when it comes to success, looking back is usually not very helpful. But I'm happy to be where I'm at, and I think that I'm part of a competitive team. I enjoy going to the racetrack, and before that stretch, I can't say that was the case, but now it is, and so things are good, and it's a good time in my life.
Let's go Nate, and then we'll go to Jim. Go ahead, Nate.
Nate Ryan, USA Today. Brad, when Jimmy Johnson was in here yesterday, he was pretty confident that a lot of what worked at Indianapolis would transfer to tomorrow, and I know that you were talking about that as well. Could you talk about what you think they were able to do at Indy, and if we'll see that again here with their cars, at the rear of their cars, and how much of a threat you think will be tomorrow?
Yeah, they just they got their cars to the next level. I felt like we were all on a pretty even playing field for most of the spring and summer stretch, and I think the results indicated that, where you saw multiple teams with 3 wins or 2 wins or 1 wins, and we saw a lot of parity in the series. And if what we saw at Indy continues along, I think that parity will cease and desist. So, we've all got to keep working to try to catch back up to how they've moved the ball forward, and I think that they deserve credit for it. It's a smart group of people over there. So the onus is on us to evolve our cars to the next level, to not just catch them, but to get back in front of them. And I think my team's very committed to that. But the success of the other competitors in the garage of doing that's really going to dictate how the chase plays out, not just this race, but how the chase and the future of the season plays out.